Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Pirillo, and I'm just recovering from a cold. My wife caught cold after I did, so I decided to go to the comic shop to pick up Poe Dameron 1.0 and Marvel Star Wars 026. These are both canon. If you're not keeping up on the Star Wars series of comics, you need to keep up. Even though I am a bad example, I've been picking them up, but failing to continue to read them. There's a lot of reading catch-up that I need to do. But I went to the comic store to pick up my comics and walked away with a few other things with my daughter, Jedi. Let me go ahead and show you what else we picked up. A Valentine's Day puzzle, which was largely designed for a classroom with 16 puzzle Valentines and 16 envelopes. But I thought we would put this together. They don't really make Star Wars puzzles for toddlers. And Jedi the other day, it was really funny. She went into one of the tins where we have some alphabet blocks, and she was disappointed. She opened it up because she knew there were blocks, but she said, no Star Wars. Because she has Star Wars blocks down here, downstairs, but not in her room. So it seems now that she wants Star Wars alphabet blocks. I'm going to have to scrimp and save my pennies, beyond getting some sales here on the table in the day out while my wife Diana was sick with my baby Jedi. She'll get more alphabet blocks. I'll figure out how. We couldn't leave the comic store without her seeing these new Funko Pins. One is missing because she wore that. She wanted that one, and they had this one as well. They were just a couple of dollars. There's a whole series available. I'm not sure if we're going to go ahead and collect all of the buttons. We'll see how it goes. Maybe if they do go on further discount, I'd consider picking them up. But she enjoys wearing the pin. We have to make sure that we transfer it from jacket to shirt and that she doesn't sleep with it, because we've had to explain that this button has a sharp point-E end, point-E, kind of like Wile E. Coyote. That probably made no sense to anybody who never watched Roadrunner cartoons growing up like I did. I've been passing up on most of the Funko Pens, even though I really like the toppers. They don't detach. I am disappointed, though, that the pen caps at the end don't attach in some other fashion. I'm afraid they're going to get lost. But the whole series of pins that I know of, the 12 that are available now, were available at my comic store. So I decided to get them because Jedi saw the BB-8 pen, and of course I had to get a duplicate for her. This is my BB-8 pen for my collection. Now you may be saying to yourself, Chris, I see two Darth Vaders. Well, I do as well, but if you notice, if you look really closely, the one that came with the Rogue One series has red eyes. The other one, to my knowledge, the original Darth Vader pen doesn't have red eyes, and you can see that the finish is slightly more shiny. There's a shiny finish on the Rogue One pen, and I think that's the Rogue One pen, versus a slightly more matte finish in the original Darth Vader pen that came with the original series of Funko Pins. At this point, there are only 12 to collect. We went to the grocery store, and they had this book. I probably would have passed on it originally, but of course, Jedi saw BB-8, and I was like, all right, let's see how much it costs. It was just $3. Not bad at all. And so I opened it up this morning when she was sitting on my lap, and we kind of played around. She's not really into puzzles so much, and I'm trying to get her into building puzzles rather than just taking things apart. But I pointed at one of the objects or the people, and I said, okay, where's the other one? And then kind of let her go scouting for it. So, even if she's not able to make the connection, she certainly understands, what she might be pointing at and learning objects, learning names. And it's a very colorful book, a puzzle book, that's really kind of like a Where's Waldo with a Star Wars spin to it. I have the Where's Waldo books up in the Lego room, the former library, which doesn't have as many books as Lego bricks anymore, but either way, Jedi and I are going to have fun with that. She's been having fun with the Pez dispensers, though we don't give her the candy, if only because it's still hydrogenated, and, she's not really aware of just how much sugar is out there, but she didn't have a Chewbacca Pez, and she didn't have a Kylo Ren Pez. These were on sale, so it was a buy one, get one free. So I couldn't pass it up, and we'll figure out what to do with the Pez wafers. But, I figured, take out the dispensers, have fun with them, and we'll align them so that she can play with them as pseudo-figures. I had Pez growing up, but we didn't have any Star Wars Pez at all. We were lucky to have Star Wars anything, quite honestly, so I'm just so happy to be overwhelmed with all this stuff. We went into a gaming store, and she saw this right away, Duels, which looks like it's based on the card game War, because this is who will win in this galactic game of war, and I used to love playing War with playing cards with my brothers. So I'm going to give this a shot. She just saw the cards as pictures, and so, of course, all right, I'll give it a shot. You know, who's to say how fun this game's going to be, even though we're not going to be playing it for quite a while until she really learns how to play games. But the good news is we have it in case they don't make it at some point in the future, and I'll be sure to keep this with the other Star Wars games that we have. Now, speaking of pictures, I found out, thanks to one of you, in my Instagram feed about these. Now, you might remember I got Jedi a Fuji camera. I think the Insta X camera. I don't know who makes it. I don't care who makes the camera, honestly. But I found out that this film should be compatible with the camera that I have, because I've been taking pictures for Jedi to kind of play with and to remember things and people. And they have these Star Wars framed cards. So you might remember the old Polaroids, and I think I've shown you some of the Polaroids that I still have from my first 30 Polaroids that I ever took. I really wanted a camera as I was growing up, but I could have only dreamt of something like this where we would have these Star Wars borders. So I'm not sure what we're going to use these for, but again, it was kind of like a buy one, get one free kind of offer. So of course I took advantage of it, and we'll load them up, this instant film cartridge, into the camera as soon as the current array kind of runs out. Some 99-cent cups that I had not seen before at the party store. This one appears to be Death Star themed, a Rogue One most likely, because there is the TIE Striker silhouettes. Rather nice, got 2 of those. I also got 3 of these, one to keep in my collection for Darth Vader, and a couple others for Jedi to drink out of, stormtroopers flanking Darth Vader with that cup. These are usually found for about 99 cents. They rarely, if ever, go on sale. These were on 60% off, or I guess they were discounted, 60%. They were at 60% off. I think you understand what I mean. I saved 60%. And I found out that they didn't ship to the store until after Christmas. That's why they were so steeply discounted, and why I didn't see them before recently. So, of course, I had to take advantage of it. The Yoda plays Star Wars mashed up with Christmas music. Probably going to keep it in the package for now. Jedi has fun just pressing the button. We will likely use it, though we do have other Star Wars bottle openers. We have a Darth Vader, which Jedi likes pressing. I don't have a duplicate of that. A Yoda one. There's apparently also a Chewbacca one, which we have not picked up. Maybe I'll wait until that goes on sale as well. You might remember that a while back, I broke the I Love You, I Know mug series. My Han Solo one is still intact, but the Leia one broke, or I guess it was chipped somehow, so I had to get rid of it. But I saw these, 60% off, and it's great because it's punny, and it's holiday, and you can drink out of the mugs year-round. I love Yule, I know. So, of course, I had to get these mugs. I haven't picked up a lot of mugs on a regular basis, but considering I use a different Star Wars mug every day to drink my coffee out of the AeroPress, I had to. I had to complete the set, again, of Han Solo and Princess Leia. Last but not least, on the way home to the mailbox, we found the Smuggler's Bounty Hoth box, and it's already been teased out that there is a gigantic pop set inside the box. I plan on doing kind of a full showcase separately as I begin to catch up on the videos, but this was sitting on the table waiting to be shown. This is what happens when I recover from being sick and my wife gets sick and she leaves me to my own devices to go out and keep Jedi entertained, and then has me go and find sales potentially. Well, she doesn't send me out to find sales, but that's generally what I do. So thank you once again for keeping me posted on the things that you know about that I may not know about. I love following anybody who's sharing Star Wars stuff and their Star Wars lifestyle. That's specifically how I found out that these, film cartridges existed. I love cartridges, and I love you too. May the Force be with you.